All right, let's look at another example of finding coterminal angles. This one with a negative radian measured angle, negative pi over 4. A couple of different approaches here. Let's take a little bit of a more creative approach to it. First of all, where is negative pi over 4, right? Well, I don't know what you know about fractions, right? Your fraction game has to be strong in order to do well in this unit. But 1/4, okay, is 1/2 of 1/2, right? Half of 1/2 is 1/4. So negative pi over 4 is half of negative pi over 2. It's one way to think about where this angle is. Now, this is before we start really talking about the unit circle. Once we know about the unit circle, this is going to be snap, snap. It's going to be pretty quick. But we're trying to build this machine, right? And trying to get your understanding of fractions stronger, especially fractions that involve pi, because that's what we're dealing with right here. So half of negative pi over 4. Now, where is half of negative pi over 2? So where is negative pi over 2? Remember, negatively measured angles go in a clockwise direction around the origin, like so, right? So here's our terminal side. When we measure this way, we're talking negative angles. Pi over 2, as you've seen in some of these previous videos, is 90 degrees. So negative pi over 2 is here, right? It's straight down, right? Straight south. What is half of that? Half of that would be right here, okay? So negative pi over 4 is this angle right here, right? So what this question is talking about is finding a coterminal angle that falls between 0 and 2 pi, okay? So a couple of ways to think of this. I'm sorry, let me jump back here for a second. There's no shame, okay, in taking negative pi over 4 and converting this into degrees at this point, right? So multiplying by 180 over pi, the pi's cancel. 180 divided by 4 is 45. So this is negative 45 degrees, right? No shame in that game, right? Knowing that a 45-degree angle cuts a quadrant in half, right? And we would say that this angle terminates in quadrant 4. So a different way to think about how to find coterminal angles is to take the angle itself, right, and rotate around the unit circle one full time, or the origin itself, the circle itself, one full time. So if you take this, okay, if you take this angle, and I'm going to draw this green thing, let's see if this will work for me. Okay, if we take this terminal side, I don't think that's going to work. Hold on. Let's do it this way then. If you take this terminal side here, right, and you add a full rotation of the unit circle going this way, right, that would be one full rotation around. That would be adding 2 pi. So take where we are in quadrant 4, negative pi over 2, and add one full rotation of the unit circle. Remember, adding positive measurements go counterclockwise. So here's adding 2 pi. We would end up in the same spot. So if we add 2 pi to pi over 4, or negative pi over 4, that's 2 pi over 1. And we can turn this into fourths by multiplying top and bottom by 4. So really what we're doing is negative pi over 4 plus 8 pi over 4, which gets us 7 pi over 4. And that is an angle that is less than 2 pi, right? Think about that for a second. 2 pi, we just saw, 2 pi is equivalent to 8 pi over 4. So to find an angle that is less than 2 pi, that would be 7 pi over 4. We add one full rotation. Now, what does this mean? What is this notation? This is saying find a coterminal angle that is somewhere between negative 2 pi and negative 4 pi. Now, the angle in question is this negative pi over 4, right? So really what they want is something between negative 8 pi over 4, and what would this be in terms of fourths? Negative 16 pi over 4. So they're saying find an angle that falls in this window between negative 8 and negative 16. Okay, how do we do that? The same way we did this problem above, okay? Only here, again, with the image, if we are at negative pi over 4 and we continue moving around the circle one full rotation, right? Pivoting this all the way around another full rotation in the negative direction, which is clockwise, and ending up here, then that would be like subtracting 2 pi or subtracting one full rotation. And we already found out, we already did this math, okay? So maybe the better way to do this is just to say we can add or subtract negative 8 pi over 4. So if we subtract negative 8 pi over 4, we get negative 9 pi over 4, which does fall in this window like they were asking for. So converting these 2 pi and 4 pi figures into fourths to verify that we are in between. But really, guys, all we're doing is adding and subtracting 2 pi every time to find a coterminal angle. Okay, I wanted to show you what that looked like on an image pictorially, if that's a word, okay, and what it looks like mathematically.